Whoever thought 2 slices of bread could contain so much delicious goodness? Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our pick for the top 10 sandwiches. For this list, we're excluding foreign specialties like the banh mi, restaurant-specific sandwiches, burgers, wraps, dessert-based concoctions, and sandwiches like the submarine or the po' boy that can feature any number of topping combinations. Number 10. Ham and cheese. It doesn't get more basic than this. Ham, cheese, bread, maybe some mayo and mustard, done deal. A staple of the school lunch, the ham and cheese sandwich was once the only food available at New York area ball games. Likely invented by an Irishman in the 1700s, there aren't many restrictions on this classic. Use any cheese or bread you want. The French have even adapted it to produce the croque monsieur, which is a ham and cheese, usually Emmental or Gruyere, grilled and smothered in bechamel sauce. Nothing wrong with that. Number 9. Breakfast sandwich. A fast food staple, the breakfast sandwich is the North American answer to busy mornings. Sometimes made with English muffins, biscuits, or bagels in place of bread. This sandwich can basically be filled with any food associated with the morning meal, like eggs, sausage, bacon, and more. Originating in the US in the 19th century, the breakfast sandwich is now available served piping hot at any breakfast restaurant, deli, corner store, and even many gas stations. It's the right way to start off any day. Number 8. The Cuban. The history of this import is unclear, but one thing's for sure, it's a sandwich done right. Likely originating in Cuba, hence the name. But taking shape in Florida, where many Cuban expats live, this sandwich can be served either cold or toasted and melty. Made up on Cuban bread with a layer of standard mustard and sliced dills, the Cuban consists of roast pork, glazed ham, Swiss cheese, and, depending on what part of Florida you're in, salami. A variation on ham and cheese, the Cuban is a work of art. Number 7. Pulled pork. This sandwich takes patience, but it's worth the wait. Created in the American Southeast, but available the world over in different forms, pulled pork is usually a tough cut of meat like pork butt or shoulder that's slow cooked on low heat or smoked until it's tender enough to pull apart with forks. With spices rubbed on the meat for flavor before it's cooked, often served on a plain old hamburger bun and sometimes topped with coleslaw. The more time and tender loving care you give this sandwich, the better it will be. Number 6. The Reuben. Delicatessens would not be the same without this sandwich, or its brothers pastrami and Montreal-style smoked meat. Ditching traditional white bread for rye, there are many variations on this deli fave, but the general idea is corned beef, Swiss cheese, Russian dressing, and sauerkraut piled together and grilled so the cheese is gooey. Likely invented in the early 20th century in the United States, this sandwich is a bit on the heavy side, but you tell us if you mind that when the sauce and melted cheese is oozing out of your mouth. Number 5. The BLT. A wise man once said, "Bacon makes everything better." He was most certainly right. Another simple sandwich and second only to the ham sandwich in terms of popularity in the US. This one consists of 3 ingredients stacked between 2 slices of mayo-slathered bread: bacon, lettuce, and tomato. Invented around the turn of the 20th century as some sort of tea sandwich, the BLT changes only based on personal taste. That is, you can use any sort of bread or mayonnaise, you can cook your bacon crispy or not, or you can even add an avocado for a BLAT. Number 4. Philly cheesesteak. If you ever find yourself lacking some much-needed calories, this is the sandwich for you. Early 20th century Philadelphia is where the first pieces of thinly sliced, chopped, and fried steak were heaped onto long rolls of bread and covered with sautéed onions and mild cheese. Popular with foodies as a gourmet sandwich and in dive bars as delicious pub fare. These sandwiches can be dressed up with provolone or dressed down with either American cheese or, as many purists claim, cheese whiz. But as long as it's creamy and melty, it's a cheesesteak. Number 3. The Club. Similar in filling to the BLT, this classic sandwich is traditionally comprised of bacon, iceberg lettuce, and tomatoes, in addition to some juicy pieces of chicken on toasted white bread covered in mayo. But what makes the Club unique is the third piece of bread found in the middle of the sandwich. To put it bluntly, it's a game changer. Found on American menus in the 19th century, It's most often served cut into quarters and held together with toothpicks, with a side of slaw, potato salad, or French fries. Number 2. Grilled cheese. Sounds boring, but the possibilities for grilled cheese sandwiches are endless, with practically infinite types of bread and cheese to choose from. Made popular in the early 20th century, when sliced bread and cheese became commonplace, this classic comfort food can be made with Wonder Bread and American cheese, rye and Munster, whole wheat and cheddar. The combinations are limitless. Throw it all together, cover your bread in butter, and heat it all in a frying pan, your oven, or a panini press until the bread toasts and the cheese oozes, and you've got yourself a snack. Before we serve up our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1. Peanut butter and jelly.
Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly.
This sandwich makes us feel truly sorry for those of you with peanut allergies. Another sandwich first popularized in the early 1900s. PB&J soon caught on with the kiddies and folks who brown bag their lunches. Though peanut butter has also been paired with bacon, bananas, and other toppings, fruit preserves are its best buddy. Whether you prefer strawberry, grape, raspberry, or some other type, crunchy peanut butter or smooth, with crusts or without, the most important thing here is to balance your flavors and to serve it with an ice-cold glass of milk. Do you agree with our list? What's your favorite sandwich? For more delicious top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.